So there's a lot of talk in the football world and in general, but now we're taking the world of football, like affirmations. I have some players when they come to me that tell me about they started using affirmations, and it's not something I do with my clients. And I just want to share my perspective. If you like using affirmations, if you find it valuable, please keep doing it. But I'm just want to share my perspective and why I don't see the power of it. So first of all, affirmations. So if I see myself, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I have this feeling. If I start declaring I'm good enough, I am good enough, well, I am just reinforcing the idea that the way I really see myself is I'm not good enough. Or else I wouldn't try convincing myself that I am good enough, right? So affirmations, when we use affirmation, we just uh, reinforce what we don't want to think, actually. So if you look, if you take an iceberg, for example, you look, and you have seen this example in an iceberg, you can see 10% is on top of the surface and 90% is beneath the surface. Affirmations is just playing with the 10%, with what you can see. If you want to be really powerful, if you want to create lasting change, you have to take a look at what's beneath the surface. Right? We have to take a look at, like, what's the fear? Like, and I would assert, like, if you struggle to be at your best due to what you would call lack of confidence or pressure, there's a fear. Something has happened in the past. There's been a situation that's been really uncomfortable, or situations that's been really uncomfortable that you really want to avoid, and therefore you now feel the pressure to perform. You feel lack of confidence. You doubt yourself. You don't believe yourself, etc. And again, that can be really tough to do on your own. It takes some insight to really see what's going on. But I'm going to share an example here. So, a client of mine, he he really struggled to perform, and he was the he was a young player on the first team, and he has this fear around making mistakes, which is not unusual. This fear, worry about making mistakes, which made him play more safe. He didn't feel confident on the ball, etc. And what we discovered was 2 years prior to us speaking, again, that he was like 19 years old, being part of the first team, being the youngest player. There was he made a mistake, and an older player in his 30s screamed at him. That situation had been so uncomfortable for my client that it had created what some would call a trauma in him. So fast forward to when we started talking, it that experience was so uncomfortable that he wanted to avoid it, and that's why he played safe, right? If I've just given him some affirmations, believe in yourself, it's okay to make mistakes, everyone makes mistakes, etc., all that we say with good intentions, but these affirmations we tell ourselves, we tell others, if I'm just giving him that, nothing would change. Because fundamentally, he would still be afraid to repeat the past. It wasn't until we reconciled the past, or he reconciled the past, that he was free from the past, and then free from the fear of reliving the past. and I'm going to say this again, it was not until he reconciled the past, what had happened, that uncomfortable situation, that he was able to break free and not feel this pressure to perform, not being afraid of making mistakes, etc. So, and that's why I don't use affirmations. I always look at, okay, if someone is worried, have fear, what's going on? What has happened in their life? And there's always something. I have several of these stories. Something has happened at some point that was uncomfortable, and they are afraid to repeat the past. I can share another story quickly. Client of mine, again, struggled with making mistakes. When everything was going good, it was great. When he made mistakes, he would think about it, and the next time he had the ball, he would kind of be afraid of repeating what just happened. If he lost the ball and he would get the ball again, he would be afraid of losing the ball again. He would think about the last time he lost it, etc. So this happened over a few calls, but um, for the sake of a video, I'm going to do it quickly. What we found out was that he had felt like a burden on his family. And in his mind, he needed to give back and help his family live a comfortable life financially. And in his mind, that meant if he became a professional football player, he could provide a comfortable financial life for his family. So the problem was he felt like a burden to his family. It wasn't something he was aware of. It wasn't something he thought about consciously, but through our conversations, he realized that was how he saw himself. Again, I could have given him a lot of affirmations, but no amount of affirmations would have helped him with that, because that was how he saw himself. Unconsciously, it was a blind spot, but that was how he saw himself. That was how he lived, as a burden. I am a burden. That was how he related to himself. It wasn't, again, until he reconciled his past and what had happened that he saw that that's a lie. I'm not a burden. And as he saw that being a lie, that gave him the freedom he was looking for. The freedom, the joy, the confidence was a natural, what do you call, effect of seeing the lie he has been living in. Again, so from my perspective, you can do your affirmations, it's okay. I'm not saying don't do it. But if you have a sense of worry, fear, it might be something to look at in your past. What has happened? Where did you get hurt? Where were you made wrong? And if you play football and you've been in a professional environment from a young age, like many of the players that I speak with, like that can be a tough environment. Coaches scream at you, teammates, maybe parents, right? Stuff are happening. And if you are 10 years old and someone is screaming at you who has an authority like a coach, it can be pretty scary. This is my perspective. I hope it was helpful. Ciao.